What if I told you the first person to ever get cancer lived thousands of years before cigarettes, processed foods, or even microscopes? Today we're traveling back in time to uncover a hidden battle between our ancestors and a disease we think of as modern. From the earliest Homo erectus roaming the African savanna to the mummified pharaohs of ancient Egypt, humanity has left a trail of bones and tissue. For centuries, scholars assumed cancer was a product of the industrial age, a byproduct of pollution, refined diets, and long lifespans. But hidden within ancient remains lies a secret that flips that narrative on its head. In the next few minutes, we'll explore the archaeological clues, the cutting-edge techniques that reveal them, and why the story of cancer stretches far deeper than we ever imagined. By the end, you'll see that cancer isn't a modern curse. It has been part of our biology since the dawn of humanity. The story begins with a fossilized femur discovered in Turkey that dates back roughly 1.7 million years. Paleopathologists noticed a dark, hollowed-out spot on the bone that matches the hallmark of a malignant tumor known today as an osteosarcoma. Using modern three-dimensional CT scans, researchers could map the aggressive bone loss and the chaotic new growth that mirrors what doctors see in contemporary patients. Imagine walking the step with that pain gnawing at your leg. How would it affect your ability to hunt, to flee predators, to survive? This ancient evidence proves that cancer emerged long before modern industry, simply because early humans lived long enough for such cells to arise. Fast forward several 100,000 years to the deserts of Egypt, where the preservation power of the dry climate gave us mummies with skin, organs, and even soft tissue intact. In the early 20th century, a physician examined the remains of a noblewoman from the New Kingdom period and noted a firm, ulcerating mass on her pelvis. Modern histological analysis of that tissue, performed on tiny biopsy fragments, revealed malignant cells with the same irregular nuclei and rapid division patterns as today's breast cancers. Another famous case comes from a pre-dynastic individual whose skeletal remains showed lesions on the ribs that researchers identified as metastatic cancer spreading from an original tumor in the lung. These findings demonstrate that even in societies with limited life expectancy, cancer could develop and even metastasize. How do scientists uncover these hidden tumors? The answer lies in a blend of archaeology, imaging technology, and molecular biology. First, careful visual inspection of bones can reveal abnormal growths or erosions. Then, high-resolution computed tomography and micro-X-ray fluorescence map the internal structure without damaging the specimen. Finally, ancient DNA extraction allows researchers to compare genetic mutations in ancient tumors with those found in modern cancers, confirming that the same cellular pathways were at work. This multidisciplinary approach turns centuries-old bones into living textbooks about disease. What does all this mean for us today? If cancer has been a part of our species for millions of years, it suggests that the disease arises from fundamental aspects of our biology, cell division, DNA repair, and the inevitable errors that accumulate over time. Environmental factors like smoke and diet can certainly increase risk, but they are not the sole cause. Understanding that our ancestors faced cancer long before modern pollutants reshapes how we think about prevention and treatment. It reminds us that the battle against cancer is as old as humanity itself, and that every breakthrough we achieve builds on a legacy that began in the deep past. If this is blowing your mind, hit that subscribe button and let's keep exploring together. The story doesn't end with ancient bones. It stretches forward into the laboratories of today, where scientists are turning those millennia-old clues into actionable knowledge. Imagine a team in a modern research institute, hunched over a tiny fragment of a rib that once belonged to a hunter-gatherer who roamed the plains of what is now southern Europe. Using next-generation sequencing, they extract fragments of DNA that have survived the ravages of time. Then compare the genetic signatures to the catalog of mutations that drive contemporary tumors. When they find a match, a mutation in the gene that regulates cell growth, for instance, They gain a glimpse of how the same molecular missteps have haunted humanity across ages. These discoveries are more than academic curiosities. They help us map the evolutionary history of cancer-related genes, revealing which pathways have been under constant pressure and which are more vulnerable to environmental triggers. By understanding which mutations have persisted since the dawn of our species, researchers can pinpoint the most critical weak spots in our cellular machinery. That knowledge, in turn, informs the design of new therapies that target those ancient vulnerabilities, potentially leading to treatments that are effective across a wide spectrum of tumor types. But the implications go beyond the bench. When we recognize that cancer is woven into the very fabric of human biology, it reshapes public perception. No longer can we view the disease solely as a byproduct of modern lifestyles. We see it as an inherent risk that accompanies the very act of growing and reproducing. This perspective encourages a balanced approach to prevention, one that acknowledges the role of diet, pollution, and habits, while also emphasizing the importance of early detection, regular screenings, and advances in personalized medicine. It also invites us to reflect on the resilience of our ancestors. Those early humans faced a world of predators, harsh climates, and limited resources, yet they still lived long enough for malignant cells to take hold. Their bodies, despite lacking modern medical care, sometimes managed to keep tumors in check for years, suggesting that natural mechanisms of tumor suppression have existed for countless generations. Studying those mechanisms, whether they involve immune responses, metabolic constraints, or unique tissue environments, could reveal hidden strategies that our own bodies might still be able to harness. Looking ahead, the field is poised for rapid expansion. As imaging technologies become ever more refined, we will be able to scan entire skeletal collections without ever touching the bones, spotting subtle lesions that were previously invisible. Combined with improved methods for retrieving ancient proteins, we may soon reconstruct the biochemical landscape of tumors that lived tens of thousands of years ago. Each new dataset adds a piece to the puzzle, bringing us closer to a comprehensive timeline of cancer evolution. So, what does this all mean for you, watching from your screen? It means that the fight against cancer is not a new battle. It is a continuation of a struggle that began long before recorded history. It means that every breakthrough, whether it's a novel drug, a better screening tool, or a lifestyle change, builds on centuries of knowledge encoded in the very bones of our forebears. And it means that you have a role to play, whether by staying informed, supporting research, or simply sharing this story with others. If you found this journey through time as fascinating as I have, I'd love to hear your thoughts. Do you think the ancient origins of cancer change how we should approach prevention today? Drop a comment below, and let's keep the conversation going. And if the idea that our ancestors battled the same disease we face today sparked your curiosity, consider sharing this video with friends who love a good scientific mystery. Your engagement helps bring these hidden histories to a wider audience, and together we can shine a light on the past to guide a healthier future. Thanks for traveling back through the ages with me. Remember, every discovery starts with a question, and every question brings us one step closer to answers that can save lives. Stay curious, stay hopeful, and stay tuned for the next chapter in our exploration of humanity's hidden health stories. If you haven't already, hit that subscribe button and ring the notification bell so you won't miss the next deep dive. Until then, keep questioning the past because the answers are waiting, buried in stone, waiting to be uncovered.